I found myself seated on a chair to rewrite my future entirely.
Beauty is not only in the exterior.
We should be our priority.
Learn the work skills even before
Of course.
really working.
True answer to our problem is not outside, is inside.
Don't run after projects that are too big for yourself.
They are judging my body. They are not judging my soul.
A lot of people have commitment issues nowadays.
Rise again after difficulties and become unbreakable.
Dr. Matteo Vigo is a leading plastic surgeon in Dubai with over 20 years of experience in breast augmentation and cosmetic surgeries.
He is also one of the first UAE licensed surgeons to perform Mira Femtech, a minimally invasive breast enhancement procedure that delivers natural results with minimal scarring in less than 15 minutes.
Dr. Matteo Vigo, where precision, expertise, and care come together to create life-changing transformations with natural, lasting results.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Beauty Talks with Dr. Matteo Vigo. Today we are having a friend, someone who I'm really inspired from, and a beautiful woman, Alice Veglio.
Thank you, Matteo. So glad to be here.
I'm very happy to have you here. So for the one who don't know her, Alice is a celebrity coach. She's an athlete, and she is a fitness, using the fitness to empower women, right?
Of course, yes, it is.
So tell us a little bit more about you and your background and what inspired you to enter in this fantastic world.
Thank you so much, Matteo. You already described it properly who I am. My journey started at 13 years old when I found out that I had a serious problem on my back.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that was a very difficult moment because I found myself at 13 years old unable to even lace my shoes, and a future that was unknown because all the doctors told me that in my future I couldn't do any kind of physical activity. So I found myself seated on a chair to rewrite my future entirely. So I decided to don't stop and dive deep into fitness, nutrition, holistic approach, and find out if there could be other method to feel better again. So by studying movement, by having a correct approach with nutrition, anti-inflammatory nutrition, I started moving again. I started feeling better again. So I found that super inspiring for myself, but I also want to share it with other women. And this kind of journey led me to a physical transformation, but also a mental one. So that's why then after business economical studies, I decided to dedicate all myself to fitness nutrition for women mainly.
So you started as a model, right, at the beginning?
Yeah, it was a side hustle. I mean, it was like an hobby at the beginning because my self-esteem was so low in that moment of my life. I had to put a plaster on me in that moment. So I felt ugly. So as a challenge, my parents asked me, Alice, you can do the model because you are tall enough to start modeling. So I started doing some beauty pageants, some small work as a model, and then I started working internationally with agency. I was studying at the moment, so I was truly focused into the two university studies. I studied economics and I studied holistic science. But in the afternoon or early morning, I was working as a model.
Wow, that's... but we all did, you know. I was studying medicine. I remember to pay my vacation in the winter. I was working in a shop, in a clothes shop, serving clients. So it's something that I think enriches us also. Is not putting us down, and actually gives us the strength to go ahead and learn the work skills even before really working for what we were studied for. Absolutely. And this led also to recently, in the last years, to a big award, which is Miss Multiverse.
Yes, it is. It was
Tell us the experience about that.
It was a huge satisfaction for me, and I think that was my last contact with the world of modeling, because modeling is a different thing than beauty pageant. I mean, usually modeling helps women to take care of themselves, but as a dark shadow. It means that when I was working as a model, maybe I got 5 castings a day, and maybe all 5 of them had people saying me, you're not wonderful enough, you're not skinny enough. So that can be a problem if inside us we don't have enough self-esteem to say, okay, they are judging my body, they are not judging my soul.
Exactly.
So I need to do a huge work inside myself, and then I ended up saying that the next pageant, the last pageant I could do, will be a pageant appreciating a woman 360 degrees. That's why I chose Miss Multiverse, and I feel so much connected to this pageant because it's not a classical beauty pageant. You go there and you have 21 days of challenges, economical challenges, social debates, IQ test, physical challenges.
I remember the last woman standing.
Yeah,
How many hours you went on and on?
5:45.
Oh my God. I will dive the 5:45 minutes. You did 5:45 hours of non-stop training. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Well done.
Yeah, it is. It was a self-discovery path. So wonderful to see many other inspiring women demonstrating that we are so much more than our body. And sometimes
Definitely.
beauty is a 360 concept, connecting our soul, our energy, our body, but also our mind.
Yeah, because it's important that beauty is not only in the exterior, and you can find a beautiful person which the aesthetic canons are not the one the society imposes, but is a beautiful, and maybe you connect with this person for a relationship, for a friendship, for whatever, even if they're not incarnating the beauty standards that we are used to, especially now with social media.
Yeah.
We all open and we see these perfect bodies, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's tell our listener also how we met. So we have a common person, which is her dad, which is a colleague of mine, is a dermatologist, very good dermatologist, working in Italy and in Dubai as well. And Alice, you created a very interesting program, which is called, you tell it?
Bright and Fit.
Bright and Fit, which is a fitness coaching program for women,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And basically she asked me to evaluate the website, the program that was inside, because she wanted also the recognition from a medical professional, and of course her dad cannot do it. There was a little bit of conflict of interest, so she asked me, and I really was impressed by the way you developed this program. So tell us a little bit how the idea was born and how you develop it.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you certified my program because I put so much effort inside it. And I think that is very important to provide quality to people, because sometimes fitness, nutrition, or even life coaching have so many misunderstandings on the web. If you deep search how to get fit in 30 days, you find whatever, you find a lot of things, a lot of information, and some of them can be harmful. I mean, it's not so easy to get results while being healthy. So inside the Bright and Fit, I want to carry on both health and physical results on the same dimension and connect three pillars that I believe that are the fundamental ones when we decide to transform our body. So fitness, nutrition, and mindset. And it's basically created for women, as you know, because I'm a woman, so I can deeply understand women issue, how we can reconnect with our body and create a physical transformation. But what makes Bright and Fit unique is the mental approach. Because you can get the most wonderful ab, the most wonderful legs, but without having the proper mindset, you will never like it. And I am sure that in your work is the same.
Definitely, and we see a lot of body dysmorphia also issues. The fact that people don't see themselves. We talk about the disease like anorexia or bulimia, so they don't they don't see what they really look like, and this of course a spiral down and creates a lot of mental issues. So definitely, and I had recently a podcast with a psychologist talking about this, how much the self-empowerment, self-esteem is important also to face plastic surgery, because of course you know my job and I face also these insecurities and I try to transform them for the better, but sometimes if there is a big problem inside we cannot. So I really liked your website and I'm happy to be your certifier, because I really give me the idea that you're not another personal trainer that gives do 10 series of abs and 20 reps of this. It's something different. And I also love when I see on your social media the comments of your followers that they give to you and say, I feel different. It's not only the physical, but mentally, and this is a great...
the best thing we can hope for.
A great approach, absolutely. So how difficult was to introduce this mental support to your followers in a physical program? Because I think some of them just might see the physical approach.
Of course.
And how difficult was to introduce this topic into your followers?
Physical approach is just the facade, because I mean, when we want to change our body, if we go deeper, we want to change ourselves or something inside our life. So for me, physical, of course, is the first contact with people. But then I start introducing the second aspect, that is mindset. Always your relationship with yourself, how you relate with some insecurities, what makes you unique. So after these kind of questions, I already help women that contact me to understand that before training, they need a connection with their self. Training is not just about booking a schedule or do a training with a trainer. It's about having a date with ourselves, a moment in which we connect deeply on how we feel with our breath, with our body, and starting appreciating the small thing. Because when you start training, you don't lose 10 kg. You need more time for that. But as soon as you start appreciating the small steps, I mean, I feel more energized. I start appreciating how my skin looks. I start appreciating my mobility, or I start appreciating that I have more time for myself. That makes the difference.
Yeah.
So I think that is the first thing that is very important. And then I support sustainability. That is super important. I love to make Bright and Fit inclusive. As a matter of fact, is a home training app, so everyone can train from everywhere. And I think that is fundamental.
You just told me something very interesting, because when I certified your website, it was all in Italian.
Yeah.
And now you are doing also the one in English.
Yes, of course. We're ready. Set it up.
Good. That is even to reach more women and more cultures. What I really like about her is the fact that you have a very clever mind. Your mind is like mine, always running a lot of projects. But you're very humble, you're very simple. Of course, I know your parents, so I know that it comes from your family, definitely. But it's really interesting that even being, pass of a model, having a degree, etc., you remain an humble person and can really give this attitude to your followers. And that is, I think, very important, because it's easy if Mother Nature was, beauty-wise, very, generous with you, that somebody looks at you, okay, of course, she's beautiful and she can do what you want. But giving this kind of feeling to your followers is very important. And I try also in my practice to be very humble and very connected with people.
Yeah, you are, definitely.
Because I need to get them the trust. For you, they do, of course, a very transformation program, and they need to trust you. For me, they go under my knife, so they need to trust me blindly.
Even more.
So it's very important, this connection. I think you are doing a good job also through your social media, through your channels. I follow you everywhere, and it's really the message is coming out. What is, in your opinion, the most difficult part, the message to deliver to your followers?
First of all, it's very difficult to create a proper schedule. I mean, as women, we are multitasking all the time, and we are at very end of our list. So only if I have time, I train. Only if I have time, I take care of myself. But we should be our priority, because if we don't have energy, if we don't feel well, if we don't have a proper relationship with ourselves, how can the relationship around us or our job bloom? They cannot. True. So as soon as I start working with women, I try to create a small schedule that is very sustainable. I mean, I start over with 15 minutes of training. We don't need much. Sometimes we are unable to train and to be consistent because all the plan we have as fitness or nutrition are not sustainable. I have a very strict diet, or I need to train for 2 hours a day. How we can achieve that?
Yeah. And the commitment also, a lot of people have commitment issue nowadays.
Exactly.
Not only in relationship, but also in the personal life. And to find the half an hour, 1 hour every 2 days to train, etc. Sometimes it could be difficult. And
Exactly.
if they're not really motivated, they just
They're going to lose it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as soon as they start and they see themselves accountable with that, they gain self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I see myself able to do something, I'm going to gain a self-esteem and I'm going to use that for other goals. So I try to build slowly approach, especially from some individuals. I love to customize my program, even if it's an online program. We have coaches. I have direct contact with people. I go live 4 times a week. So I love to create this kind of interaction and customize the path to wellness.
And again, it's really what makes a difference compared to other programs where just you have 10 videos, do this,
Standard.
and that's it. And then, it's your problem. I did my job, and then you absolutely, no, it's... And how do you see, of course, we are in a plastic surgery podcast. So
Yes.
how do you see the connection between the world of women and the plastic surgery? You receive a lot of requests
Of
for
course.
suggestions, maybe? What
Yeah.
is your relationship with these people that ask you?
Yeah, many women contacting me, they want to change their bodies. So they are looking for different kind of option. And I truly believe that there is a deep connection between aesthetic procedure and training because they complement each other. And sometimes I got asked what you think about aesthetics, is good, is bad. As soon as it's starting from a self-acceptance, is good. If it's starting from a self-rejection, is bad.
Yeah.
But even training is bad from self-rejection because I'm not going to like myself anyway. So I can do breast augmentation, but if it doesn't start from self-acceptance or a demonstration of who I really am, I'm not going to like it. So the first step is to understand if what we are doing is moved from our inner will or is moved from fear of judgment, inability to accept ourselves. So yeah, I create this kind of thinking inside the people I meet and all kind of women contacting me, asking my opinion. I always suggest aesthetics as soon as something that complements their results, their goals, or their self.
Okay, that's very important also for me. And I think the connection is also, for example, in body contouring procedures, I see that a lot of patients think that I have a magic wand, I touch and you become, a top model without any effort. These things doesn't come easily and it has to change the mindset and then you have to keep the result. If you finish a liposuction and you go to McDonald's every day, but to do a fast food every day, of course, you will not get the result that you want. You will lose the result that I might have given you during the procedure. And that's why also our jobs can, in a certain way, combine to change the mindset of the patient, giving them the tools to keep fit and continue to improve themselves. So I have the blade in my hand, but you have the mind that is sometimes even more powerful. I don't have the time, unfortunately, most of the time to also mentally coach a patient. I'm not a coach. I don't take the titles that I don't have. But at the same time, I don't have the time to really follow all the patients. So I do deliver what they ask me for. But I always suggest to follow a path. And I'm very happy that you're opening now Bright and Fit in English because I can send you a lot of my patients.
Thank you.
They will really enjoy and really understand and take care of themselves in a different way.
Yeah, behavioral change is the first pillar of changing and long-term results. We always need to think long-term. Everything that is very simple, immediate, if it's not sustained by behavioral changes, doesn't last.
Doesn't last. True. Absolutely. And on this, mindset, you also wrote a book recently.
Yes.
2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago, yeah.
The title is The Heart in the Diamond, Il cuore e il diamante in Italian.
It's translated in English, so it's available.
Okay, perfect. Tell me about how this idea came to life. What did you want to communicate in this book?
As soon as I started meeting more and more people, everyone was asking me about my story. And I have not a big story, but I have some specific events inside my life.
You have a powerful story.
Yeah, I went through limitation a lot, and I want to demonstrate to people that the facade is not always all the true. I mean, a lot of people meet me and said, okay, you have a good genetics, you have a nice body, you were already slim and skinny, so what's the point to follow your program? But we are much more than our body, and sometimes we see a skinny person, a fit person, but we don't really know what she went through. So the book for me was a tool to demonstrate that even some people that we see as achieved and successful went through a lot of difficulties. So inside the book, I explained deeply my problem with my back and how the proper workout, approach to nutrition and mindset helped me to recover and transform myself, and how Bright and Fit was born from that. And I also share my last adventure, not properly happy with pericardial effusion problem.
I remember, yes.
So it was a big journey of mine of 4 years length, and in which I couldn't train again. I had a serious problem even climbing a stair. So I shared that experience of mine to give people hope that we have always more strength than we think.
True.
And sometimes the true answer to our problem is not outside, is inside. And I found myself after all this problem even stronger. So I was truly reborn from that. That gave me the input to start studying life coaching, open a life coaching academy. So I think that everything that is inside the book show like a story of a woman that is able to rebuild his life. So the name, the art is our sensitivity, our emotional part. Yeah. And the diamond is the stillness, the motivation, how we can rise again after difficulties and become unbreakable. And the book also shows my athletic journey, adventure, as a nice final.
Yeah, talking about your athlete part, you just told me that you are training for a marathon run, right?
Yes.
The first marathon of your life, because you told me the half marathons up to now.
Yeah, many.
Where will we be?
In Australia, Gold Coast.
Oh, wow.
6th of July. My 30th birthday is going to be celebrated with a marathon.
Nice. I don't have this endurance for marathon. For me, is even at school I was with the high speed one. I've always been athletic, but the high speed one, I don't have the endurance to run and run and run. It's not my. But I really, see you do a lot of this kind of training and runs, and this builds your character as well.
Of course.
Because in the moment of not letting it go and keep going, at the end is a very self-empowerment.
Yes, exactly, because you get in contact with your limitation, your internal belief of not being able to endure more. But what I like most about these challenges is that you discover how powerful you are. And is a powerful tool for me to demonstrate that if I can do it, and I got diagnosed with immobility destiny, everyone can do it. So
yeah, true.
I love to create overarching goals, so impossible goals, and slowly try to catch them and create the future I like. So,
but a question that I didn't think before it came now, in this path of your self-empowering, your rise from the problem, there will be a lot of downfalls or not that many?
Yes, they are. Sometimes when we think about the path to success, we think that is a linear one, but not. It's done of fully up and downs every day. Even In 1 hour, I have up and downs because it's how the body goes, it's how the mind goes. But as soon as we stay consistent, we try every day to do one significant action towards our goal, slowly, we're going to achieve what we desire. I have a rule inside my program that is the 1 a day rule. It means that your day can be the busiest, the most terrible one. But at the end of the day, if you achieved one small goal, it means even dedicate 10 minutes for body movement, 10 minutes for journaling. You already achieved something, and you must be proud of you for that.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very powerful message, definitely. We discussed about the combination of this program that you created for women and the plastic surgery. I see many women that are very strong nowadays. So they come to me and they've already a very big mindset, etc. And I find them the very easy patient for me because they know what they want. They have very achievable goals. So they've done this work. So do you think that also before plastic surgery, a program like yours can help women to reach the moment of the surgery in a better mental status or relaxation?
Yeah, I think that is fundamental to have a surgery with a strong mind and control of our emotion, our goals. I think that even the decision to go through a surgery must start with self-awareness. So I think that to start a path before of life coaching, contact with yourself, with your goal, your authenticity. Because you said it right. We go through social media and we see a lot of women with the same physique, with the same behavior. And sometimes we think that if we are not compelling to that image, we're not worthy. So we risk to create some kind of imitation of other people, even physical, through surgery, without accepting what makes us unique. And I think that surgery can really help to emphasize what makes us unique.
Yeah.
So emphasize some very specific characteristic of our body.
Absolutely, no. It's a combination, and again, the more I talk with professionals, different sectors, but around my world, I really understand that there should be a global approach to beauty in general and self-empowerment. Because if we work only on one thing, if I do a perfect breast for a woman, but this woman is not happy, she will never be happy with another size of breast. And if you do a mental coaching, but the woman doesn't start a fitness program, so they don't train, the puzzle will not fit into each other. So it's very important that, and it's a message that we can deliver to, our, don't say patient, you don't have patients, but, our followers,
Yes.
that they really need to see the global picture.
Yes.
And see themselves as a big agglomerate of different portions of themselves and try to put them together.
Yes,
because I can help you with something small, you can help with something else, but the main job will come from themselves.
Of course.
So I think this is a very powerful message. And how do women approach your program? So they come through, of course, online, definitely they found you online, but then they come mainly for the training program and then they shift to the mental part, or they come more for the mental and they shift to the training?
Everyone is starting from the physical part, mainly. 90% is coming from the training. But I can proudly say that then the 80% of the people shift to mindset and they complement their journey with life coaching, my life coaching academy. They want to complement it with nutrition. So they start maybe with a single approach and then they find out that the holistic approach is the most successful one to feel truly a transformation inside themselves. And what I like the most is that they are living differently the relationship with their body. And as a consequence, they live more freely the relationship with other people. They start feeling less pressure on the judgment of the society.
Yeah.
They start appreciating more who they are. And I think that is the most successful thing. As soon as fitness is used just to make people ashamed if they are not compelling to a specific size, is harmful.
Yeah.
But when we use fitness to help people to achieve their best version while knowing themselves and know what makes them unique, is through this transformation.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you 100%. Great. I think it's really interesting how also you can use let's say the mass attraction to then deliver another message. That's something, and I'm trying to do also with this podcast and with other instruments I use online to. Of course, I talk about plastic surgery. Everybody talks about plastic surgery nowadays. Everybody knows what is the botulinum toxin, the fillers, this and that, and implants. But then, coming to my world. My world is not only being in the theater and doing things. There is a lot also of hidden psychology that I do with my patients in a good way to try to enhance their result and let them face the post-operative period, the possible complication that can arise from the surgery in a very relaxed mindset. And that is very important. I like to really give this kind of different vibes and different...
That makes the difference.
Yes, absolutely, definitely. So you said that you created now the online academy for the coaching academy. What other projects are boiling for you? Because you like me, we are minds that are never stop. What is the next project that you can talk about? Because we have our secrets until you realize we don't say anything. But what is coming up next?
Now I'm working a lot on my second company, that is Mira. Mira is a luxury fashion bikini-wear brand. I created that specifically to emphasize body shapes. I mean, I got used to purchase a lot of bikini that weren't able to emphasize my shape. So I went through many trials and then I decided to create my own line that is combined with crystal. I truly believe in the power of crystal stone, energized with Reiki. So Mira is born with a collaboration with a Reiki master, and we create unique pieces. All the pieces are hand-sewn here in Dubai, and the material are from Italy. So it's a way of mine to mix the culture. And so, I'm going to boost Mira, first of all, get to know Mira all around the world. Bright and Fit is set up in English, and I'm going to create more and more content. It's very demanding, so all my life is
How many people are working for you now?
We have a team of 22 people,
all in Dubai or also in Italy?
All around the world. What is nice of smart working and my company is that there are people working from everywhere. And I think that is just a way to demonstrate that companies can look different sometimes, as we were born during the pandemic. So we kept the same approach. And so we are boosting Bright and Fit more and more, creating content every day. Of course, my formative journey never stops. So I love to study all day, at least 1 hour a day dedicated to...
How many hours have you a day? Because you're always doing something, It's,
like you.
But it's true. Sometimes I ask myself as well, I wish the day is 30 hours instead of 24.
Even 72 will be great.
Yes. But sometimes, what I'm trying to learn now is also to pace myself a little bit.
Yes.
Because it's easy to be overwhelmed with all this kind of things. So try to really pace myself and give priority to what really matters.
Yes.
And don't run after projects that are too big for yourself. If you have the mindset, I think you will come. I think this is also the final message we can give to my followers. So what is the best message you can give to them about women empowering? What will you say to them?
You don't need to be scared to discover who you really are. You need to dive deep into the wonderful person you are, discover that sometimes what we find unique and different inside ourselves is our superpower. So even some limitation we got can be something really specific that can make you unique and interesting for other people. So, I think that the final message is to be brave enough to discover who you
your
really
superpower.
are.
I like your superpower.
Your superpower.
Everybody has one. Everybody has one. Absolutely. So great. Alice, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure to have you here. And I think we can now collaborate even more and more with other projects together. So to give again this global approach to beauty, to self-awareness, and to enhance women life.
We love that. Thank you, Matteo.
Thank you so much. For my followers, thank you again to be here with me. If you like the episode, please subscribe and put a like on the episode, and stay tuned because more and more guests are coming on the way. See you.
because you deserve the best.